have about 30 seconds leading into this game. Not sure if you can hear me, but I'm going to run down the Helsinki Roller Derby roster because you are about to watch Helsinki Roller Derby All-Stars against Dos por Cuatro. Helsinki wearing green, number 1, Jannaka Sakselen. Number 101, Taru Sakselen. Number 22, Malu. Number 24, Kuyala. Number 257, Vega. Number 28, Nina Erues. Number 39, Mayurine. Number 455, Joanna Koskinen. Number 604, Sarah Ekholm. Number 77, Rekku. Number 85, Latikainen. Number 90, Salja Karjalainen. And number 94, Tina Kemari.
And for Dos por Cuatro, Team Osom, it's 02, Pandora. Number 03, Tamus. 100 is Lashenda. Number 14, Mandarina. 26 is Tropical Mechanica. 265, Lulazan. 28, Julia Suelta. Number 3 is Carla. 35, Cruella. 45, Maki Lambera. Number 7 is Rasho. 8 is Pop Pop. 84 is Persephone. And as we get started here, 99 is Chinaski.
By the way, I'm Ophelia Mellons, and I'm joined here by Bob Noxious. Take it away, Bob.
All right, and we've got Tropical Mechanica out there right now up against number 39, Mayurine. Both jammers having a tough time dealing with the defense. Rene is going to pick up a forearm penalty. She's going to go to the box. Tropical Mechanica working up against a front 3 wall, and right now is pretty well stuck. As the troops come running on the power jump, they're going to try to free Mechanica up. And Tropical Mechanica with a spin move will be your lead jammer.
Mayu standing in the penalty box. The star is stashed in her hand as another Helsinki blocker joins her.
Tropical Mechanica now on her scoring pass. Body's on the floor. She's going to run to the inside of turn 3.
And that is Sarah Ekholm in the penalty box, now joined by a Dos por Cuatro player.
And that's going to be a grand slam. That's going to be the first 5 points of the game. Brene now through as Mechanica eyes up the pack. Helsinki speeding things up. As they start to engage, Mechanica late to call off the jam.
Yeah, paying for it now, heading to the penalty box for a track cut there, Bob.
Very uncharacteristic, didn't see the other jammer coming, had already cut the track, then called off the jam.
As this will be a full 2-minute jam, Tropical Mechanica will remain in the penalty box to start out the next one.
And Pop-Up able to get a hip on Rene, but that is it. And Rene pulls yet 5 points. And that'll be 10-5 in favor of Helsinki.
Action-packed first jam here. Helsinki versus Dos por Cuatro. Thank you so much for joining us here on Track 3 at the Big O 2017. Lining up for the next jam here is Malu, number 22 for Helsinki, and Tropical Mechanica standing in the penalty box.
And 3 wall going to form up front. Malu going to hit right into the center. That drops into a 2 wall. And they're going to chase her outside the zone of engagement. They're going to have to let her go. In the meantime, Tropical Mechanica stuck at the back of the pack trying to execute a star pass. Malu already on her scoring pass.
Uli Suelta being goaded in the rear of the pack currently. Excuse me, that's Tropical Mechanica with the star stashed in her hand, Bob.
And Mechanica, both jammers actually up against 3 walls that are braced so well they're not unable to get through. Neither able to create any separation either, so that they can create some space and use their feet to get out of it.
Yes, these teams are really evenly matched. You see them just grinding to a halt there and up the
there we
inside
go.
line.
Tropical Mechanica on the inside of turn 3. She finally breaks that 3 wall down to 2 and is able to slide off the back shoulders of the Helsinki blocker. And it's going to get called off, or it's going to come to its natural conclusion as Air Mechanica.
Definitely, and that was Reku holding the line, getting her hip out over there and protecting that space.
I think beverage service was interrupted.
Yes, it was. Coming in here, jam number 3, Saxelen, Taru Saxelen. And by the way, the Saxelens are not sisters, they're married. And jamming up against here is Lulasen for 2x4.
And right now, it's just a battle of leverage. We know something's going to fall, and it does, and that's exactly what happens. Blocker falls in the middle, breaks things up. Lulazan, nice move at the exit of the first turn. She is your lead jammer. Lulazan, very fleet of foot, but also a little bit penalty prone.
Taru rounding that pack, forcing that call off at the end of that. 4 more points for 2x4. Score will now stand 9 for 2x4, 14 for Helsinki with just under 25 minutes remaining. I'd like to take a moment here to thank Rydell Skates, proud sponsor of the Big O. Thanks, Rydell.
Thank you, Rydell. And this time we have Rasho that's going to step up. And she's going to be up against 24. That's Kulala. And Kulala, she is through that pack totally unabated.
Helsinki's defense looking a little bit broken up here, and they haven't quite reformed their wall.
And Rasho is going to hand off to Maki Lambara. And that's going to be a 5-0 run. Interestingly enough, both of these teams kind of have a measure of each other because they've both played Windy City.
Yep.
Helsinki just squeaking out the win against Windy City, and 2x4 actually losing in the final jam of the game against Windy City. So these teams should be very equally matched.
Yeah, very exciting games for both of these teams this weekend. That's Mayurena jamming for Helsinki, and Tropical Mechanica wearing the star for 2x4.
Mechanica definitely the more powerful of the jamming squad for 2x4, but she is having a hard time against these Helsinki walls. And if you've watched Helsinki for any length of time, this is the way they play. They are a very difficult defensive team, very innovative as well.
Nina Eroes in the box for Helsinki and Cruella for 2x4, and a jammer penalty now being assessed.
So Tropical Mechanica looking there, she's going to get a little bit of help. But right now the offense really needs to focus on trying to get her out of there. They've got a full 30 seconds before that jammer comes out. And with that bridge, that 20 feet finally going to come up.
That's a Kamari and Serekom with a beautiful last-minute effort there at 20 feet out. Had to let her go.
Oh, legal re-entry. That's going to send number 35, Cruella, back to the bench.
Brina returns to the track here, gets some surprise offense there from Vega, and clears her initial pass.
Tropical Mechanica, a little juke to the inside, goes outside. She'll call off the jam, preserve the points that she scored. She's going to pull 7, and we are at a 19-17 game.
Stepping up here for the next jam, number 22 for Helsinki again, wearing green is Malu, and number 265, Lulasan, wearing black with gold for 2x4 from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Each jammer up against the other team's triangle defense. They're going to get Malu out of bounds. They're going to have to. She's going to have to recycle.
Great defense there by Temis and Chinaski of Dos por Cuatro.
Lula Zahn keeps her. She's very good at keeping her feet moving. And
Wow.
can she stay in bounds? She does. Oh
Buena.
my! She lands a triple sow cow in the second turn, and somehow is able to tiptoe the outside line.
Una bonita jugada. Beautiful play. Thank you to my Argentine roommate for helping me. And that one gets called off at the end of that, preventing
But
Helsinki.
see, the problem with this is everybody in Buenos Aires is listening right now going, oh, that's Bob again. And he still can't pronounce anything. You're really just making me look bad.
Well, that's what I do to men. So, welcome to the WFTDA. Helsinki All-Stars now lead only by 1 point, 18-19. Up on the line now, Rasho, number 7 for Dos por Cuatro. And number 101, Taru Saselen for Helsinki. Wow!
Oh, Russia! Nice little skip step on the
No.
outside. Oh, she doesn't stay in bounds apparently.
No bueno.
Yeah, exactly.
Lead jammer has been assessed here for Helsinki's Taru.
Everybody at home knows that I know, bueno, gracias, si, and baños.
Uno más cerveza, por favor. After we're done calling all our games, of course.
Exactly.
A lot of momentum here coming up. That's Taru Saxelen. Beautiful force out at the top of the pack, but manages to swim through, Bob.
Yeah, such a great skater. And of course, because she's already kind of diminutive in size, but the thing is she can also get so low. Once she gets that center of gravity that close to the ground, she's very hard to stop. Also very well physically trained. You've seen her on the national team for a number of years.
Great play there by Cruella.
And there we're going to see the pass. And Maki often the outlet for the star pass. And it looks like it's going to be a 5-0 run. Oh, my apologies, 15-0 run.
Yeah, she went around the track like a whole bunch of times. So Helsinki All-Stars extending their lead 18-34. We're under 19 minutes remaining in this first period. Kuyala, number 24 for Helsinki, now on the line up against a very low person that doesn't want to show me their number, I believe.
I think it's Tropical Mechanica.
Tropical Mechanica. Yes, it is.
Kulala right now, as we've seen with every start, both jammers really fighting up against triangle defense.
Certainly not innovative as far as high-level derby, but it's the most effective play that we're going to see. I mean, what I'm looking at right now could have been the Rose Victoria game.
Yep.
Same kind of play.
Yep.
And high level. They're going nowhere. Neither of these jammers seems to be getting any purchase on the track, and you can see Tropical Mechanica looking for some help from her pivot to gain some purchase on the track.
And I think this is really unusual for Tropical Mechanica because she's not used to playing up against defenders that can out-leverage her. She can normally power through just about everything, and I think Windy City was a bit of an eye-opener, and Helsinki's been an even stiffer defense. As at the moment, as the time ticks down in this jam, neither jammer threw the pack on their initial pass yet.
Minute 15 seconds to pick up lead
Tropical
jammer.
Mechanica, though, will scoot through on the inside. She's going to roll off one of the outside blockers of the triangle.
And a penalty now being assessed, number 84, Persephone. And Helsinki hanging out in that penalty box. 2 players down, jammer seated. Retku returns. Kuyala.
So Helsinki on the power jam right now. Kulala once again into the mouth of that triangle.
Joanna Koskinen with the offensive play at the end helps her pick up all 4 of those points, Bob. Score now extended 18-38 with 16 and change remaining in this game. Take another opportunity here to thank Radar Wheels. The Big O is proudly sponsored by the Radar Halo. Pick up a set of Halos today and see what you've been missing. Thank you, Radar Wheels. On the line now, Rina, number 39 for Helsinki in green. Jammer iced in the penalty box for 2x4.
Oh, Rina, totally. She shoots through that like somebody stamped on a packet of ketchup. As the inside line is left, totally wide open.
Well, that was thanks to Sarah Ekholm opening up that inside track.
Nice positional block. Prevents them from sliding over to get to her.
That's Maki Lombera holding the star now for 2x4. All right, at the end of that, 4 more points. While we find 2x4 behind, they are holding Helsinki to single passes, and that's going to be a key to them relaxing into this game and unlocking the Helsinki defense here. On the line for this next jam, Malu versus Lula-san.
Yeah, we have to remember that they were just launched up into the 19th spot, and today, Friday, they're playing teams at a level they have not played against before. Not that they haven't held their ground, as we see Lula-san getting knocked around at the back of the pack.
Malu picking up lead jammer, but getting recycled here. I mean, this team, both of these teams are amazing, and you have to think they're a little isolated down there in Argentina. And how are they playing at such a high level? It's fantastic, and I hope to see a lot more derby coming out of Argentina and South America.
Yeah, the rivalry in Buenos Aires is between 2x4 and Sailor City. Sailor City also ranked, I believe, in the top 40 at the moment.
Oh, awesome.
And
that was a 0-0 jam. 18-42 still remains the score with Helsinki on top. 14 minutes remaining in this first period. That's number 101, Taru Saxelin, wearing the star for Helsinki, and the one and only Rasho. Keep an eye on those apex jumps.
There we go. It's going to be Taru. She's going to get through, finally, the front defense of 2x4, and she's looking to come around on her scoring pass.
2x4's pivot. Maki Lombera headed to the penalty box there.
And Taru with that low stance, able to pass by faking outside, cutting back inside, as we see Rasho now through the pack.
Oh, wow. Great defense here. Cruella not able to protect her point on that pass. Actually, she did totally protect her point on that pass. That was awesome.
Yep.
9 points for Helsinki in that last jam. Still 13 minutes in this first period. Both teams retain all of their timeouts and official review. That's go ahead, Bob.
Up to this point, we've seen Tropical Mechanica on one big run, and that accounts for the majority of the points for 2x4 at the moment. Tropical Mechanica out there again right now. She's up against number 24. That's Kulala. And Kulala's going to break through. She's going to break free, find some room on the outside. She'll be your lead jammer. And Kuyala.
Oh, rapido. Well, that was handed off to Maki.
They do such a good job of passing the star. So many times you see people want to go over the top. It becomes very obvious. They do a very nice job of passing it on the inside.
Score now, still 18 for 2x4, Team Osom. And 55 for Helsinki, 12 minutes remaining. Rina now on the line wearing green for Helsinki. Up against Lula-san again for 2x4. Clear penalty box. Slow technical start here.
Yeah, Lula-san with the very, very quick footwork. You can see that she's already looking to head off the star.
Brilliant.
No, and of course she's able to do so. It's going to negate lead jam, but that's Persephone out there right now.
Rena with some excellent technical footwork there on the edge, able to avoid any penalty there.
And she got through just in the nick of time.
Yeah, nice
able
4-point
to
pass.
Call it off. Persephone was coming in full guns.
Rasho back on the line for Dos por Cuatro, and Malu, number 22 for Helsinki. Helsinki sitting right back on that jammer line. Don't want to give her much room to move.
Rasha with a quick move around the majority of the defense, gets forced out, and can she stay? Yes, she stays in bounds outside of turn number 1, cuts it back inside to get past the last blocker.
She hid behind Malu at the start of that jam.
She's on her scoring run. This is going to be the first lead jam that they've had in a while.
That's Cruella reporting to the penalty box for Dos por Cuatro.
And she's going to call off the jam. It looks like 2x4 is going to get 1 point out of that. A 1-0 run. I'm no accountant, but I remember my math teacher telling me 1 was better than nothing.
1 is, well, it's, I don't know if it's better, it's greater than.
It can be the loneliest number as well.
Yeah, well, that's true. But we're here together calling this beautiful game in Eugene, Oregon at the Big O. International game.
And we're going to see Tauru Saxaline as she rushes up to the front. Tropical Mechanica is totally stuck behind the 3-wall. And I think Tropical's got to take a look at the technique she's using as she's hitting that thing right up the middle. They prepare for Tauru.
Tauru right down the middle there, getting some help from her Helsinki blockers.
Man, and she is totally surrounded by blockers. Oh, she does a nice job of sliding off the 1 block, turning her hips, and clearing the inside lane. Tauru has had a great game. 5 more points.
Now we have Maki Lombera reporting to the penalty box. She's the pivot, and she had received a star pass. So this is a power jam at the hands of Tauru.
And Tauru right now going to fight Pop as well as Tropical Mechanica. Oh, nice offensive rush. They totally trap Dos por Cuatro to the outside of turn 4, allowing Tauru to finish.
We have our
final pass.
Very well. We have our first team timeout. Believe that is a Dos por Cuatro timeout. Score now 19 for Dos por Cuatro out of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and 69 for Helsinki All-Stars, of course, out of Finland.
And Yasho with a couple of questions for the officials. Yasho never gets rattled and his hair never moves out of place as they talk about getting back to their game plan, I'm sure. Generally speaking, they are a very good offensive blocking team, and that is not something that they have been able to get going so far this first half. Ophelia, as you mentioned before, they're not giving up huge chunks on these jams, but they're giving up a lot of 5, 6, 7 pointers. But that's starting to grow.
It is, yeah. They got a 10-point pass last time. There was already a 15-point jam, and definitely need to continue with their efforts to pass the star and put the pressure on them, but they do really well once they get that lead. That's number 24 on the line, Kuyala.
And Kulala up against a full set of blockers for Dos por Cuatro. And Osom has her trapped out at the front. In the meantime, we're going to see Maki Lombera come off. She's going to come out of the penalty box donning the star.
Star's already off in her hand, and up the inside line she goes, clearing that pack on her initial.
And we've got a lead jammer for Helsinki.
Helsinki definitely towering in size compared to the bulk of the Dos por Cuatro skaters. It's really fun to see how they use their bodies differently and effectively. You just saw
And Helsinki has always been such a physically prepared team. Very, very difficult to move.
If you look at Nina's legs, her hips are like basically at the shoulders of Lula-san.
Yeah. And Lula-san out there, but up the center, we're going to see number 39. That's going to be Rene.
Wow, big, quick start pass there, right on over to Persephone.
And Persephone, if she can hit the gas here, she might be able to get some points up.
Well, they're at a 4-2 pack advantage now, 3-2 pack advantage. Points up on the board, but Helsinki still with the lead, of course.
Oh, Pop. Gonna get the hip out there, and there we go.
So
Persephone
sneaky.
going to pass it.
Helsinki giving up 8 points to Dos por Cuatro, not wanting to give up any more, but Helsinki had 4 points in the pocket, so that jams a draw at 8 apiece. Score now 27 for Dos por Cuatro and 78 for the Helsinki All-Stars. We're at about 6.5 minutes remaining in this period. On the line now, Rasho for Dos por Cuatro and Malu for Helsinki, again in green.
And Rasha going to go right up into the center of the triangle. Malu going to do the same then. She's going to slide out and around the outside. She's going to be your lead jammer.
Fast-moving pack sneaks around the outside there. No lead.
Maki Lambera now in possession of the star. And we have a power jam in favor of Dos por Cuatro. And Maki stays in bounds. Little Walinda in that girl. She gets knocked backwards. Unfortunately, the stall in her getting herself rebalanced allows Helsinki to regroup. So far, Helsinki totally killing this penalty.
Wrapping right around Maki there.
And 2x4 really needing to be more aggressive on the offensive block.
They do not want to play offense right now. They are awaiting the return of Malu with offensive help from Helsinki here.
And that was a bit of an offensive opportunity squandered. But a nice job by Rashu up front, as well as number 3, Tamas. But it's not going to be enough, and she's going to be able to get through.
Wow, big effort there. Spins to it's like the opposite direction. Most people jump on the apex. That was pretty cool. And she recycles herself. Maki gets lapped at the very end there. 1 point for Malu, 2 on that pass for Maki. It's a 9-point jam for Helsinki, 7 for Dos por Cuatro. Score now stands 34-87. We're under 4 minutes in this first period. Dos por Cuatro hoping for a better outcome. We'll see what is brought to us in the second half, because this mathematically should be a really amazing tight matchup.
And Tropical Mechanica, this time the Helsinki going to do something different. They're going to line up towards the front, but that gives Tropical Mechanica some running space, and that's when she works best. Once she gets the feet going, she's good. Once you get her stopped, that's when she's in trouble. She's your lead jammer, and she's already looking at her first scoring pass.
Now she pokes that pack right in the center, looking for some offensive help.
Yeah,
They come
and
in from
yep.
the in to the out there.
And she's going to pull 2 points.
Hey,
But a 2-0 run, that's all right.
That's
they're not down by a lot.
That's a victory for Dos por Cuatro to get as many shutouts as they can at this point. They need to slow the momentum of Helsinki. Now on the line, number 265, Lula-san, up against number 24, Kyuyala.
That might also help Tropical Mechanica realize that she might be better off starting further back behind the jammer line so she can attack that 3-wall when it's lined up back there. There we see Lula-san. She is trapped, and in the meantime, there we see number 24, Kyuyala, who's already made her first pass. She's your lead jammer, and she is going to drop. She's going to drop one of the 2x4 blockers, and she will get through for a pretty easy 5 points. At this point, it's going to be Persephone who's received the star for 2x4.
Nice force out there. That was Joanna on that.
And as Kyuyala ends up being dropped down to her knees, she's going to call off the jam, prevent any points being scored by 2x4. That's an 8-0 run.
Looks like there might be a point correction. Or not. Helsinki at 95 with about a minute and a half remaining in this half.
Oh.
Jam ref said, turn your numbers around on your arm.
Yasha's looking over. She's looking over the bench.
Marasho hitting right in the middle of that tripod, trying to find some room.
And that is the way they play. That is their strategy, is to hit it up the center. But this team is so strong, I think they're going to have to look at trying to keep the separation and bounce themselves around that when they can. And you can just see the force that both jammers are exerting to try to get through
This pack's
the defenses.
getting all the way bridged out here. Pushing forward, penalty now being assessed on Juli
that's a clockwise block. And there we see number 22, Malu, who's had a tremendous game. And then she comes into the pack. I think Pop immediately greets her with a hip. That slows her down enough that the 3-wall can build around her. 257 going to come in. That was Vega, but we're going to be done. That's 2 points more.
Timeout being called at the last moment by Helsinki, wanting to continue their momentum, put a few more points up on the board. And that's actually an official review being called. So this is a Helsinki official review. Immediately following this game right here on track 3, the men's game of the weekend. Not even
you're not kidding.
Not even arguably, and I'm proud to be calling that one as well. St. Louis, number 1 team, against Bridgetown Menace, number 3 team, who is just playing so amazing this weekend. I'm so proud of those boys. And that'll be coming up right here at 2 o'clock on track 3.
Portland over the last 3 years or so, 2 or 3 years, has just been building and building and building itself to a point where right now they are a monster out on the track.
Great leadership, very flexible leadership, a number of captains to divide the work up. Always great coaching. Bridgetown Menace and the Wheels of Justice for Rose City, of course, amazing relationship. They coach each other. They help each other bring, they're Team Purple.
Yeah.
And, as well as Bridgetown Menace is playing this weekend, they still got tricks in their pocket. They have Quadzilla on their charter, ready to play as soon as that charter goes through in a few weeks.
I just talked to him earlier about that,
And it'll be great to see him find his place on that team.
Yeah, they really ran up a score on.
So Helsinki looking for a cut track penalty on the previous Dos por Cuatro jammer. The Dos por Cuatro jammer step back inbounds, and with the current rule set, you're allowed to correct that if you immediately reposition yourself and so that you don't advance to your position. But they feel she did not immediately enough reset. And we'll find out the dramatic conclusion of this official review shortly.
As the 6 officials have to gather around and determine what immediately enough is going to be. And looks.
All right, no pass, no penalty being assessed here by the officials. So Helsinki will not retain their official review for the period, which is okay because there's only 6 seconds left on the clock. And you might as well give yourself a break and put more points up on the board and not even waste a timeout.
And there we see Tropical Mechanica up against number 39. That's my Irene.
That was an interesting step by Irina as she stepped backwards and laterally to just find herself some room to move. She gets forced back here by number 45, Maki Lumbera. No pack called and quickly reset.
And there we go. Tropical Mechanica, the first lead jam that she's had in a while. Generally the leading force in the jammer rotation for Dos por Cuatro. As she comes up to the inside of that triangle, she gets a little bit of help. Maki Lumbera kind of stuck between bridging and trying to decide whether she should help or not. And she's going to get in there, and she pounds it. She pounds it open, and yes! Tropical Mechanica going to not only come through that backwards, she's going to spin off of it, stay inbound somehow. And she'll be lead jammer. She's going to dart into that pack, pass a handful of the Helsinki players, call it off. I guess a handful was 1.
Yeah. Well, at the end of that, 6 points, shutting out Helsinki in that last jam. And we are now at our halftime intermission. The score, 42 for Dos por Cuatro out of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and 97 for Helsinki All-Stars, hailing from Finland. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with you for the rest of the action. Let's see. Number 101, Terusak Selen, has 34 points, followed closely by Irina, number 39, who has 26. On the Dos por Cuatro side, leading all scorers is Tropical Mechanica, of course, only 18 points. She's really been shut down quite a bit.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, that 18 points, I think most of that came in one jam, if it wasn't one jam.
Right.
Yep.
At least 15 of those, I believe. Looks like we are just about to get started on the line. The one and only Tropical Mechanica. And that looks like Rina on the line wearing green for Helsinki.
Both jammers off the jammer line. Both packs going to start towards the pivot line this time, so they get a running start. Mechanica stuck behind the 3 wall quite quickly, as is Rene. Helsinki going to bridge. Try to give Rene a chance to push through, and they're going to get close to the zone, outside the zone of engagement. They have to let her go, and she's gone.
Tropical Mechanica stuck in the pack, removes the star from her head, as is their usual strategy.
And as Mechanica is looking for somebody to pass it to, she's finally able to reach across, and I believe that's going to be Maki Lumbera.
A lot of people are pointing at Maki Lumbera.
I think they felt she might have had stepped out of bounds to receive it.
So number 26, Tropical Mechanica, reporting to the penalty box. I believe she's the active jammer. Now we have the pivot, Maki, holding the star in her hands and also reporting to the penalty box, likely for an illegal procedure. She wants to give her friend back her hat anyway.
Exactly. In the meantime, Rene threw for another 5.
Dos por Cuatro bleeding skaters at this point. Chinaski, number 99, in the box as well. That's a full penalty box for Dos por Cuatro.
And Rene going to get caught by Pop Pop.
I was wondering.
Great effort there, as you said, by Pop Pop to just burn a few more seconds off the clock. That was a 10-point jam for Helsinki. We see the coach of Dos por Cuatro speaking with the head ref. What do you think that's about?
I don't know. Well, I don't know, but Yasho rarely gets riled up. So, but he's fired up this time about something.
I don't see this as an active timeout, so this is probably an official timeout. And you're right, Rasho looked a little fired up there, but this is a time of stress for Dos por Cuatro. They have 2 blockers in the box and a jammer standing. Can you see who they have on the track, Bob?
Right now, I only see Pop standing out there. I don't think they fielded any more of the team yet. I think they're trying to figure. Obviously, something transpired during that star pass that went severely awry.
And the pivot returning from the box. That coach,
Maki Lambera.
My congratulations to the coach of Dos por Cuatro. That was awesome. He didn't need an official review for that. The refs just corrected a mistake, and we're back in action here. That was Mackey. That was the pivot, and there was an illegal star pass. Only the jammer going to the box, not the pivot.
So Maki and Tamus and Pop out on the track up against Malou. Malou into that 3-wall. She is so powerful.
Great tripod there momentarily by Jannica Saxelin and Sala Karjalainen.
So lead jam going to go to Helsinki.
Defense. Sorry.
In the meantime, Tropical Mechanica is back out of the box. She's got one to beat. She's able to do so. That's her first pass. But Helsinki going to put 4 more up on the board. And well,
right now we also have 2 Helsinki blockers in the box. Joanna and Reku in the penalty box. Really rapido pace here.
Yeah, and this is where Tropical Mechanica generally excels, and there you see her get by on the inside.
Now finally we see Dos por Cuatro recycling and getting together. Nice hit out on the jammer. Someone is going to the box for that. That would be number 8, Papap, the captain of Dos por Cuatro. 1 point on that last pass for Malou.
I think I think Malou thought maybe she'd get another point if she called it
there's
exact.
one in the box.
No, I'm just joking. She waited to call that off so specifically. I thought she was going to be almost late with it.
Score of 46-112. 26.5 minutes remaining in this period. Back on the line, Lula-san.
Yep, and she's going to be up against Saxelin. That's Taru. Oh, Taru, she gets down low, actually able to avoid a hit. She is your lead jammer.
Here we go. Dos por Cuatro out of the pack, though. Going to force a call off. Oh, coach is saying keep going. And that pack is running away, Bob.
Yep, Lula-zan. She's going to catch her portion of the pack. Now she's got to try to get past the front 3. They're able to run her out of bounds. This has worked for Helsinki nearly every time they've run it. And right now it's just a scrum between stern 1 and 2.
Really impressed by number 99, Black Chinaski. Her lace is untied. She continues to skate like she's on a skateboard, only using the right skate to push. She don't care. She's just playing some derby. And
Yalu, she's going to keep rattling that wall, which is what she has to do. She's going to hit it right. She's going to hit it the left. Now she's going to get a little bit of help from number 77, Reku.
A high block has been called. Who is it? As a blocker for Dos por Cuatro, number 45, Maki Lambera. Very strong utility player.
Perfect way to describe her. That's exactly what she is.
Swinging offense come in from Reku, and she will also pick up a penalty.
And as you see Taru right there, Saxoline, she's going to be recycled back.
As well as Lula Sen.
And there's been very little movement by the jammers in the last 20 seconds. That's going to be the end of the jam.
Dos por Cuatro able to sneak up a few points on that last pass 3 to Helsinki's 13 points on this jam. 49 for 2x4 and 125 for Helsinki. We're at about 24 minutes remaining in this game. One blocker down apiece. That is Guyala on the line up against Rasho for Dos por Cuatro.
Both teams playing blockers playing very tight to the jammer line. Oh, and on the inside, it's Rasho. It moved just enough. She was able to slide off the left blocker. And she'll be your lead jammer. On the passing run, however, she's going to get run out of bounds by Yannicka Saxoline. And through the pack through the pack, we are finally going to see Guyala.
The end of that, 2 solo points for Dos por Cuatro and a team timeout now called. I believe. Official review, perhaps? In the meantime, you can check out the Big O on social media. There's still so much Derby left for today. Hashtag Big O 2017. You can follow along also at hashtag Big O Cats or hashtag Big O Dogs. And GI is going to let us know what's going on. Just making.
I think he's talking to himself.
Yeah, he is.
On the straightaway at the beginning on this, Black Jammer got knocked out as number 77 got knocked out. Number 77 came back in. Black Jammer came in ahead of them. They're looking for a cut track penalty on Black Jammer.
So this is Helsinki's official review, and they are looking for a track cut on the Dos por Cuatro jammer.
I'm assuming that would have been right off the line.
Yeah, you're correct. Other big games today at the Big O on track 1. You can switch over and see how Texas and Terminal are doing on track 1. 2 o'clock, Denver versus Angel, going to be a real hard-hitting game, real bruising game. I mentioned earlier on our Afterglow show, love the idea of seeing Lacey Knight and Lo Betancourt go up against Tracy Akers and a couple of their Sharks. So that'll be a fantastic game.
Tracy Akers, one of the original
Oh, absolutely.
of Denver's roller girls.
Victoria, Texas happening on track 3 later tonight, and we'll round out the tournament with Rat City versus Helsinki. They'll be playing again. So Green 77 was returning from the penalty box. So that was not an actual player that you could cut at the time. So Helsinki does not retain their official review for the period, and no penalties are assessed.
And Tropical Mechanica and Rene going to be the jammers for the two teams. And Tropical Mechanica, look at that. She's going to get a head of steam up, which is what she needs. She's going to hit the 3 wall, and then she's going to spin out of it. She'll be your lead jammer. And out of the pack now, we have Helsinki and Mayu Rene.
Holding her throat for a moment there, maybe got the backhand of somebody there. And that one gets called off. Wow, great jam there by Dos por Cuatro. They did lose one to the penalty box. 3 points there for Dos por Cuatro, 55 to 125. 22 and a half minutes remaining in this game. Taking the line now, number 265, Lula San. In the first half, only was able to put up 6 points. But Dos por Cuatro looks like they've adjusted here, Bob.
And we get started. Malu looked like she had a hole right in the inside of the first lane. She's gonna, or first turn, she falls. And that's going to allow Lulazan to take lead jammer. And this is one of the few back-to-back lead jams that 2x4 is going to see. And she's going to pass one, hit it.
Gets that solo point there, Bob Noxious, and really impressive offense here from Maki Lambera. I see her coming in with the sheer force hits just to peel off those offensive blockers just enough, trying to buy a little bit of time there. So great effort.
Well, when you described her as a utility player, I can't think of a better way to say it.
Yeah, she does it all. 1 point, bringing Dos per Cuatro to 56.
As we get started, it's going to be Rashu, and she's going to be up against Taru Saxaline again. And Taru has just had a terrific game. And she is through quite easily. She'll be your lead jammer. Rashu now through the pack. Taru Saxaline going to get her first pass in. That's going to be 4 points.
Shut down on that inside line defense by Sarah Ekholm.
Yes, very nice hit.
Whoa! Great control there by Taru to make sure not picking up those penalties. She got away with that first toe stop around the outside, but not the second one.
As Taru's got track in front of her, Rashu's through.
Looks like blocker Vega for Helsinki's picked up on Mackey's tricks and tries to isolate them all over the track. At the end of that, couple of points there for Helsinki. But Bob, I would say that Dos per Cuatro a little bit more in control here, stops the bleeding. 4 points there, 11 for Helsinki on this jam, 60 to 136 with 20 minutes remaining. Kuyala now on the line up against Tropical Mechanica, who has been a standout this weekend, but it's just getting shut down by Helsinki right now.
As you see both jammers stuck in the middle. Oh, and around the outside, there's a nice move by Kuyala.
Star's been removed by Tropical Mechanica, but the pivot's behind her.
Oh, Kuyala right there. Kind of sneaked it. Defense kind of fell asleep on her as she comes around the outside.
Still one in the penalty box for Helsinki.
Oh, and she's just making it look way too easy right now. This is a big jam for Helsinki.
Star pass to Mackey. Great communication, like visual communication from jammer to offense of Helsinki. No points on that last one, though. She did have to call that off. So 10 points Helsinki, 11 the last jam, 10 this jam, getting a little out of control there. 60 to 146 with 19 minutes remaining.
Well, as we can both imagine, you get to a point where there's just, it gets to be a little bit of desperation when you're unable to execute your game plan.
This is, I believe, the fourth game for Dos per Cuatro this weekend. And Helsinki has another game in 5 hours against Rat City.
Yeah, I think 2x4 will get 3 out of the weekend, and I think Helsinki will get 4. Rene up against Lulazan.
Lulasan back on the line with Rena. Penalty box gets cleared out here, Bob.
We see Renee dropped into the infield. Lulazan just trying to find something. She's trying to find a way around the outside of the 3 wall up front that Helsinki's built. They're going to recycle her to the back.
Nina Eroes just towering over her as he draws her back.
She is so awesome. And there we see Renee going to get through on the backstretch.
Those penalties really picking up for Dos por Cuatro. We see Persephone up to the penalty box for an out-of-play penalty.
And there we see 2x4 get through. They're going to pass the start. Non Lulazan's going to stash it. And you can hear Helsinki's coach yell in the background to call off the jam, try to prevent 2x4 from scoring any points, which they do.
4 points there for Helsinki. 60 to 150 in this game so far. 17 and a half minutes will remain. Malu returns to the line up against Rasho.
Oh, Rasho takes a big hit from number 77, Raku. She's back out on the track up front. Malu fighting the 3 wall and once again gets through. Strength is amazing.
Malu takes the hat off momentarily, stashes it, and clears the pack.
Rasho with the star back on her head. She's getting some help from Persephone, but it's not enough. We're going to see Corella is sent to the box. And there we go. Malu's going to cut that down from a 3 wall to a 2 wall down to 1, and she is through. There's a successful pass. Rasho also going to get through. Helsinki opting to continue.
Oh, nice attempt to block there, Persephone. Just needed to get a couple of teammates together with her, though. That was a little high speed to really contain Malu.
Yeah, the height difference there made some of those moves a little less effective than they would be. And Malu's just cruising.
Yeah, she was really able to blow up a 2 wall, spread them out. Malu also hits the middle.
She's got some help from Yannicka Saxelin. And Yannicka and Malu trying to break up the 3 wall up front. And we see in the back, everything collapses.
It's a big old mess.
Poor Raju sitting at the bottom of the pile.
And then Sala Karjalainen with the forearm penalty for Helsinki. She'll be joined in the penalty box by Mackie, who's got to be up there in the penalty range. 17-point jam for Helsinki.
And Helsinki's starting to blow this wide open.
Well, they are 99 points ahead at this time. They have all 3 timeouts still available to them, but they did burn their official review. 15 minutes remain in this game.
It's just that we haven't seen that push from Dos por Cuatro, and this isn't going to help as Tropical Mechanica is going to be penalized. She's going to sit in the box, and it's going to be Taru Saxelin. And Taru with that great footwork through the second turn. She's got your lead jammer.
Yeah, they were real posted up at turn 2. Offensive sweep comes in there from Sarah Ekholm.
Yeah, you can see they speed things up as they try to cushion Yalu as she comes in so they can trap her.
Mechanica with the star stashed on the track. Yeah, there we go. Passed right on over. And that's Tammy's number 3.
Damien's who we don't see don the star very often. Oh, the little apex jump. She says, I could do that too.
Si su puede.
And it is a power jam right now.
Little fake there. You got Mackey coming in to try and bombard that defense.
And both sets of blockers absolutely storming each other.
Oh, yeah, Helsinki's handling it.
Number 257, Vega, just sits on her. Great sit block. She couldn't move.
Hey,
But-
10 points so far for this pivot.
Exactly. I've seen her playing 8 games. I think this is the first time I've seen her with a star on her head. Oh! She turns around backwards. I think she's surprised that she was still in bounds.
Well, there she goes, Bob. She's got a 14-point jam under her belt. Does give up 5 to Helsinki, but the heck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Score of 82 to 172. We're under 13 minutes remaining in this game. Very smart play there coming from Damies. And Kuyala back up on the line with Lulasan.
Well, maybe Damis will find herself back out there again with the star on her head as we get started here. Lulazan. Oh, nice sweep. That's Cruella comes in, really smashes up the defense. And Lulazan just continues to spin. She is through as your lead jammer.
I love seeing jammers pick up speed with a backwards skating technique. And they sweep around just like that on turn 1.
Lulazan fighting right now to get through 2 or 3 defenders for Helsinki at the back of the pack.
We lose Ratku to the penalty box for Helsinki, and we will also lose an additional blocker, number 1, Janaka Sakselen.
Yep, it was Yannicka who was able to put Lulazan out of bounds, but she ends up getting called for a blocking penalty on that.
5 so far. Gonna call that star pass right on over. I believe that was Joanna.
Yep.
Receiving the star, puts the pressure and calls that one off. But 5-0 jam for 2x4 Team Osom. And an official review, I believe. Yep, and 2x4 calling an official review. We'll get word on that shortly. 11 minutes, 13 seconds remain on the clock. Really excited for this year's 2017 International WFTDA playoffs and championships. Division 2 playoffs. Now, thanks to the restructure, they get their own tournament August 18th through 20th in Pittsburgh, PA. And that'll be hosted by the Steel City Roller Derby. A new date for the Seattle Division 1 playoffs that was moved to September 1st through 3rd, hosted by Rat City. The next Division 1 playoffs, September 8th through 10, hosted in Malmo, Sweden by the Crime City Rollers. Rounding out our 3rd Division 1 playoffs, September 22nd through 24th in Dallas, hosted by the Dallas Derby Devils. And of course, Division 1 championships, international championships, November 3rd through 5th, hosted by Philly Roller Derby in Philadelphia. Similarly to the previous official review, they are asking for a cut track on a Helsinki jammer. They felt that the jammer stepped back inbounds and did not, quote-unquote, immediately reset their position. So I will have word for you there momentarily. Thank you again to the Emerald City Roller Derby for hosting this very successful tournament. Over 500 skaters are here. 300 plus volunteers. That's 33 teams, wow. 17 WFTDA, 4 B teams, 9 MRDA teams, 5 juniors, men's and women's Team USA, and 2 modified contact junior teams. All right, so that official review is not retained by Team Osom, 2x4, and we will continue here. So that Sarah Ekholm recycles number 7, Rasho.
Russia with some nice footwork, and she finds herself on the outside and a nice seal block.
And we have a power jam, Bob. We have a forearm penalty being assessed on Arena.
Excellent, excellent block. Rene must have extended that forearm to try and prevent going out of bounds. And this is, all of a sudden we're seeing some offensive flash from Rasho.
Oh, I like that.
The flash.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's
Trying to open up that inside line, but she just can't get there. Great efforts happening here. That's Reku.
the way Helsinki plays, it's like Mercury. You can't break it up.
They really are very flexible. And they have a lot of depth to their defense. They always have blockers right on top of that jammer, but then they also have that up front blocker awaiting her arrival. Star pass over to Sarah Ekholm. Big smile on her face. She says, "Aw, darn shucks." Probably in Finnish.
Yeah.
5 more points there. That was 5-0 jam for 2x4. The score now 92-172. We have 9.5 minutes remaining in this game. Malu returning to the line up against the one and only Tropical Mechanica.
Yeah, your point earlier about the size differential really does come into play here. I saw Maki come in and put a hit on Airwiz, and she didn't move. She got right up under the, right up into the sternum like you would expect a good hit to go. She puts one foot backwards just to stop it.
But also at the same time, I am so impressed by 2x4's stopping power. I have seen huge blockers come in and try and move them, but they have just such excellent plow stops and hockey stops, and they're not moving despite their smaller stature.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. They're a team that can start and stop on a dime.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Ooh, jockeying for position there on the outside, trying to come in for offense there. That was number 94, Tina Kimari.
And again, Mechanica very, very used to being able to use those legs to move people. As she found out against Windy City yesterday, it's not quite as easy at this level, but Helsinki giving her much more trouble than she had. In the meantime, we have a lead jammer for Helsinki, and that is going to be number 22, Malu.
Star pass. Tropical Mechanica handing that on over to Persephone.
And Persephone can go. She absolutely lays on the speed, and that's going to force them to call off the jam. And Helsinki will pull one out of that, and that'll be a 1-0 run.
2x4 coach not totally thrilled about that point. It's an attractive man, says me.
What?
The coach. I like his style.
Oh, yeah, sure.
He's got like
His hair's perfect.
Oh, his hair is awesome. Black and gold. Come on. All right, back on the line, 265.
I think he's a beautiful man.
Good for you. So that's Lula-san on the line with Taru.
And there we have Taru's Saxline. And Taru has just had such a tremendous game. There you see the underduck, and she's going to be your lead jammer.
Getting out with a star stash. Putting the pressure on Taru to call that. Did she get all of them?
3.
She'll take it. 3-0 jam. 92-176. Helsinki in the lead comfortably at this point with only 7.5 minutes remaining in this game. They put Kiala back on the line for Helsinki again wearing green. And Rasho, number 7, for 2x4 out of Argentina.
Russia right into the heart of that triangle defense, and there we see on the outside, Helsinki going to gain lead jam status with number 24, Kuyala.
And we lose Mackie to the penalty box. She is dangerously close to fouling out.
Kuyala really trying to find some room on the outside. There is nothing there. She's going to be recycled. Takes a step outside.
Multiplayer block now assessed on Joanna Koskinen.
And Rasho has seen nothing but green jerseys for a good, better part of the day today.
Minute so far.
And apparently, it looks like Maki Lombara has actually got the star.
Whoa, oh. That was cool. Big booty block there. That was number 77, Retku, launching the 2x4 pivot, who probably holding the star.
Yeah, Rev Wright doesn't even flinch.
Mackie can take it. She's a tough cookie.
And Rasho back there trying to help her out. Rasho's nobody really rattling anybody, just kind of standing in the way. What Maki really needs is somebody to clear some people out.
Rasho joining the blockers at the front of the pack as Mackie is the active jammer for 2x4. 2x4 setting up at the front here between turns 3 and 4. Holding Helsinki to 2 points on that pass. 7 points. 92 to 183, and a team timeout will be taken by 2x4, and it is their last. And they've already used their official review, so this is going to be it for controlling the clock for 2x4. Again, just a reminder, immediately following this game right here on track 3, the game of the weekend in men's roller derby action. Number 1 team, St. Louis, taking on the team with momentum and fire, Portland's Bridgetown Menace. And that's right here at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
And Rasho, Yasho out there right now. Just, I think, some words of encouragement. Pop-Pop is actually his wife, so she's probably saying, "Don't you even look at me." But no, he's very, very controlled, and he does work very hard on his hair.
Tropical Mechanica and Rene. 4-3 pack advantage for 2x4.
And Tropical Mechanica finds some room on the outside. Better job, little pendulum swing there of her body, trying to throw off that 3-wall as to what direction she's going to go in. I think she even fakes a star pass there. Then cuts to the inside, and she will be your lead jammer.
And that's great. Pep able to recycle the Helsinki Jammer Arena there, buying time for Tropical Mechanica.
And Rene comes through, and I tell you, she just takes, Shinoski gives her everything she's got, and Rene just kind of moves her out of the way.
Hey, she got them all. 4 points there. 4-0 jam for 2x4, and now a team timeout, the first called by Helsinki in this game.
I mean, Ophelia, really when I take a look at this one, I've seen this team play, I've seen 2x4 play so many times. I've seen Helsinki a number of times, but 2x4 really lives off of running a triangle defense with a 4th blocker that'll be freed up to run interference. and offensively block, and that just they've not been able to get to that. The three blockers just has not put them in a situation where it's been enough to hold back the jamming crew of Helsinki this time.
Kind of cool here to see Helsinki having this team chat on the track mentally. You know, when I've been on a team that does that, that means that's our track. We're together. We're in this together. Protect this track. That's pretty cool. So, fun fact, Helsinki has traveled about 5,000 miles to get right here to the Big O, and Dos por Cuatro about 6,700 miles down from Buenos Aires, Argentina. That's a lot of miles.
Yeah, it's a long trip. Assuming they flew into Seattle, probably about 12 hours or so. Lulazan out there, as is Malu.
Oh, great on the inside there. Can't quite find the light of day.
Lulazan gets a shoulder sideways. She's able to poke a hole through the defense, and she'll be your lead jammer.
In the second half, they have not yet been able to get multiple passes on Helsinki.
And Lulazan gonna get the cut track. She's got very happy feet, and once in a while she has a tendency to step out of bounds.
All right, now a penalty assessed on the Helsinki jammer Malu for a high block. So we'll do a little jammer switcheroo here. Wow, she like spills through the front of the pack. Does she get all those points? She does. Sometimes I worry if they're on a knee as they come out the other side, that may not be legal points. But in this case, all five, all good.
The pressure is so intense inside these packs. It just squirts somebody out at some point.
You said squirt. Breaking through on the initial pass is Malu. Oh, scoring pass. 5 points there. My pardon.
Lulazan now up against, oh, God.
Great point protection here. Oh, she finds her way past on the inside line, Malu.
She is something else. I don't think they've been able to get through her all day.
I just saw a big exasperated sigh come out of Lulazan.
Yeah,
oh, boy.
I saw the same thing.
Another team timeout being called by Helsinki. Any theories as to why they're utilizing these timeouts?
Actually, none. It's not uncommon for, as we watch these games, even though a game might be well in hand, it's not uncommon to see the winning team take a timeout late in the game. Maybe they have a certain goal they're trying to attain or something that they want to execute that
I just feel like it's helping the team that's down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand. The first one, okay, it's been a great weekend. We've got one more game to go. Rah,
you know
rah,
what?
Rah.
That's it. They do have another game.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a moment to breathe.
It might be a scenario where they want to try something specifically that they haven't shown.
Secrets. And we are back at it. So Malu in the box for Helsinki and Rashu on the line for Dos por Cuatro with 2.5 minutes-ish remaining in this game.
Looking at this right now, it might be something that they even want to try, knowing that their jammer's going to come off the bench.
Ooh, lots of jockeying for position there.
And Russia looks like she's through. Oh, has to stop to keep herself in bounds. And once again, that Helsinki defense so fast to get back together. But right now, she's left to her own devices without a Helsinki jammer out on the track. There's no reason for them not to rush at this point. And there, Rasha, with some space, is able to cut through the front two and finally get lead jam. Malu now back out onto the track.
Really fast-moving pack here, faster than we've seen so far. Wow, dropping right over that last blocker. Pop.
Russia with a nice move right there. A little shoulder fake. Going to gain her room on the outside to complete the pass. And she's going to pull 4.
On the line again, number 26, the one and only Tropical Mechanica. 2 blockers, though, in the penalty box. Now 1 for Dos por Cuatro.
And we've got Yelu Soxaline out there. Again. Oh! She's going to ride that outside line. She's got that beautiful little skip step to the inside that gets her clear. And Amaki with the star.
Yeah, pressure to call that one off. 4 points pulled out by Taru there. And, yep, there they go. Is that a timeout? There's 20 seconds remaining on the game clock. And this is Helsinki burning their final timeout.
Yeah, Yasha giving the thumbs up to the use of the final timeout to the Helsinki coach. Both coaches just very calm, very collected. You can tell they've got a strong rapport with their teams. And that'll conclude the 2-minute timeout. And we're going to get right into the final jam. And to finish, we're going to see Lula-san up against Rene.
Now finally clear penalty box. Lead jammer quickly going to Rene.
Yeah, she does a really excellent job on the inside line with her toe stops.
Good on Lula-san for getting out right behind her.
Bodies flying into the pack. Rene going to be stopped by all 4 blockers for Dos por Cuatro. And Lula-san going to take a ride from one of the Helsinki blockers right out of bounds. Both defenses able to recycle these jammers. And Rene, she's able to keep in bounds. Nice job. Very little room to work with, just toe stops.
Rene is the lead jammer, and the period clock has expired, so we're currently watching them just run the jam. Less than a minute remaining on the jam clock, Bob.
And Lula-san is sitting in the penalty box. So at this point, the only jammer on the track is for Helsinki.
Just hoping for some more ranking points here. Forearm being assessed on a Dos por Cuatro blocker. Pop. And she gets a high five going to the box.
Tamus going to get called. I think that was a block out of bounds.
Up the inside with the no-looker.
I'll lift the 1 foot. There we go. I'm through.
Ekholm returning to the penalty box.
Rene going to try to make another pass.
Oh, cool block there by Chinaski to round out the end of this game.
That's going to be the end of this game. This is a very international tournament. It's amazing how many teams are here. We've got teams from Australia, Canada, South America, Scandinavia, Europe, and it's fun to see them. It's fun to see them pair up, and it's fun to see the different styles of play that are developing in these different parts of the world.
Or even more interesting, the not different styles of play being effective.
True.
So the final score of this game, 113 for Dos por Cuatro, hailing from Buenos Aires, Argentina, falling to the hands of Helsinki All-Stars with 203. Really good effort at the end and to get under that 100-point loss. So 90 points there.
And Helsinki running the table so far.
Yeah, really.
They're 3-0. Dos por Cuatro is going to go back. They're going to be 1-2 with a 5-point loss to Windy City. So really a very good weekend for them. They come in ranked 19th, and they prove to the world that they deserve to be in the top 40.
Yes, absolutely. And that will do it for us. Thank you so much, Bob Noxious.
Thank you.
You're very knowledgeable. And I'm Ophelia Mellons. I'll be joining you again shortly at 2 o'clock for the exciting men's game, St. Louis versus Bridgetown Menace. We'll be back.